I'm Darren.
I'm Derek.
And this is the Double E Podcast.
Filming in a new location once again.
Yeah,
it's like
we like the new locations.
Every couple months we try to switch it up. We just keep you guys on your toes. Today we're going to be talking about Milan Madness.
Yes.
Milan Madness was a great show. It happened about a month ago now. A little bit less than a month ago.
Less than a month, a few weeks.
And we are now officially, as of recording this, a little less than a week away from Clarksville Chaos, which will be taking place in Clarksville, Ohio. So, if you didn't watch, if you weren't there for Milan Madness, first off, why weren't you? And then second off, now you can get caught up because you're going to not miss Clarksville Chaos. You can't miss BOTB shows. Two BOTB shows in a row? That would be ludicrous.
That's illegal, I'm pretty sure.
I think it should be.
I'm pretty sure it should be. Laws.
Let's talk about Milan Madness for a minute because it was a great show, had a great crowd. One of the bigger crowds that we've seen in Battle on the Border since we've been working there. We've been working there now for 4 years. So
it's probably the biggest crowd we've seen at Battle on the Border show.
Yeah, it was a great time. In fact, the crowd was super into it. It was an action-filled night as always. Great action. And from a behind-the-scenes perspective, it was actually one of the better shows because we got to set up the ring and stuff the night before. So a lot less stressful than some shows have been in the past. Just a little behind-the-scenes. Just a little, everyone loves watching.
We had a sound hiccup, but I figured it out. You know?
Well,
we gotta figure it out.
You know, hey, you did a good job. No one even noticed.
They work just fine now.
Well, you know, it's the power. It's the power of Jeff King's entrance when he comes out.
He just destroyed it. He's like, "You want bass and bass only."
Just destroyed your speakers.
I'm like, "Geez, oh Pete," but it works fine now.
Well, that's good because Clarksville Chaos is right around the corners. Let's get started.
I will have a backup amplifier.
That's probably fine.
But yeah, let's get started.
Let's get started.
It's coming up. We're gonna get into the other fun at the end of this. So
the other fun.
Well, yeah. Telling them what to expect on the next show, but they ain't getting it right now.
Yeah, we got to find out what happened in the past.
Yeah, they got to find out what happened now, and then they'll get to find out at the end if they stick around long enough.
Start off with the opening matchup. This was between Donovan Cecil, newcomer to Battle on the Border, but not a newcomer in professional wrestling. He's worked for OVW. He's been wrestling for years, but he's going to be taking on Benjamin Chimera, who since being in Battle on the Border, he's been doing pretty well.
And he's making a name for himself.
Making a name for himself. And listen, he's a trainer on Mondays. He's somebody who, I like the way he does things. I don't like how he wins matches. I mean, you've argued about that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You don't like how he...
I do like the fact that he is willing to work his way up through the ranks. That I do respect, at least. Now, how he does it, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm also not a huge fan of the fact that he decided to take time out of his day before the match started, talk crap about my girlfriend specifically. Singled her out and said that she, I believe, and I don't remember the exact wording on this one, but I remember him saying something along the lines that she was a favorite in the men's football locker room. Not a huge fan of that one. So that's, I don't like Benjamin Chimera as much as I used to.
Fair. I still really enjoy him. I like.
Yeah, you were laughing. I was not laughing.
I thought it was awesome.
It took up a listen.
I thought it was awesome.
It's been stuck in my head. I won't forget that.
I can't wait till I'm trained.
Well, I'll tell you what, something like a word like that. I mean, listen, I don't. Benjamin Chimera is a big guy and stuff, but I am starting to train.
Well,
and listen, I
know.
So I got to make
maybe one day you might get your chance.
I don't know. It might be a couple years.
That's also maybe one day you might get your chance.
But not only that, then he also decided to talk crap about Donovan Cecil because Donovan Cecil's family was also there. So he decided to talk trash about him. And this is what he does in the past. He's done this a lot. He is very good talking trash and getting into your head because, Donovan Cecil's hearing all this.
Yeah.
And hearing his family getting talk trash too. And of course, he's not going to like that.
That's going to piss him off, get him all riled up.
That's right. And of course, Donovan Cecil's coming to the ring and he has one thing on his mind. He has to make a good impression too. You're making your debut against Benjamin Chimera. You want to be, if you can beat Benjamin Chimera, that'll skyrocket you towards the top of the rankings in the heavyweight division. And
quickly.
Donovan Cecil is a big man. He is fast, powerful. Benjamin Chimera is fast, has the experience edge. He's also very powerful. So this was the matchup.
Dangerous people in the ring here.
Oh, absolutely. Between two behemoths. And it was a back and forth match. There was a lot of action going on. There was some dastardly moves being done by
one of them. Come up with a new word, did you?
Yeah, well, underhanded tactics.
You come up with a new word.
It's bad when people come up and say something like, "Why do you keep talking about my underhanded tactics?" I'm like, "Well, I got to switch it up now."
Well, ain't that some shit? Because you're an ass. That's why they don't like you.
So there's some underhanded tactics going on in the matchup. There was some referees, look this way and then choking Donovan on the ropes. At least that's what I've seen. I'm just calling it how I've seen it. Now, I'm not going to try to, I'm not saying the word that the wrestlers hate that we use, the C word. It rhymes with feet. But I will say that there was some underhanded tactics going on because that's what it was.
Damn underhanded tactics.
But
I'm
Donovan
going to take
Cecil,
that out of any other vocabulary in America.
Donovan Cecil was trying his best, and he gave Benjamin Chimera a hell of a run for his money. It looked like for a minute there was a chance he was going to be able to beat Benjamin Chimera in his debut in Battle on the Border. That would have been a huge blow. What do you think the Monday class would have said for training if their trainer lost
I think they would have...
to someone who's debuting in Battle on the Border?
I think they would have had
You know what would have happened? Benjamin Chimera would have took it out on those students.
Yeah, I think they would have had a rough day. Yeah. That would have been a lot of...
Next day would have been a lot of running.
Yeah, you'd have been...
Run till you puke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Squats till you puke or whatever. Yeah.
He would have been pissed.
But that didn't happen. Benjamin Chimera was able to get the victory, despite all the underhanded tactics and whatnot. He did make Donovan Cecil. If I remember correctly, I believe Donovan Cecil either tapped or was passed out from not tapping. Either way, the point is...
At our angle, it kind of looked like both.
It was hard to tell from our angle because there's fans in front of us. They were standing up and cheering. It was hard to see.
Looking down the list, but focused all of it.
But I do know that Benjamin Chimera did get the victory. Now, we talked about this before, and this is something that I really feel like is going to be more of a talking point as we move on towards the year. We have a lot of shows coming up, which you guys won't even have to hear about that until later. Just know, just keep this in the back of your mind that in a couple months there's going to be a lot of shows that you won't want to miss.
No.
Benjamin Chimera has to be getting close to a #1 contender spot again.
He should be.
I know he lost to Paxton.
Yes.
And New Beginnings. I know you weren't there for New Beginnings, but he did
but
lose to Paxton and New Beginnings.
You telling me he lost.
He bounces back with the win.
Okay.
So he's had one loss in how many months? Paxton at this point in time is the champion still in the show. So, I mean, a win against it gets him back in the right direction. In the heavyweight division right now. I'm not saying it's a small market. You know, there's a lot of people on the roster.
Oh yeah.
But a win's in the right direction. Gets him back on track after losing to Paxton.
And then should make him up there pretty soon.
Anytime you get a win, it has to move you up.
I mean, it has to.
That's how winning works.
As I said, it's the only thing that I can think of would work.
Losing doesn't move you up.
Well, I would hope not. Losers never win.
Right. So, I mean, I have the feeling that, again, as these shows start to accumulate and he has more matches and stuff, obviously he's a favorite to win all the time. I feel like anytime he's in the ring, he's probably a favorite.
Oh, yeah.
So
easily.
That's what I'm saying. It's something to look forward to. He's got one win. Now can you string together 2 or 3 more? You go right back in the #1 contender.
Got it.
And then Donovan Cecil. Great debut. Gave it his heart. Tried his hardest. Gave it his best shot. He looked like he was going to win a couple times. We actually talked to him before the show, if you remember right, and we asked him if he was nervous, and he said absolutely not. He's a very confident young man. I think. Listen, I mean,
he's got a lot going for him.
You can't hang your head in shame if you lose to Benjamin Chimera.
No, absolutely not.
You know, it's not like you're going out there.
You also can't give up. You know, because circulates. We have so many people that come through. It circulates just as fast as. And he could be at the top next in 2-3 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it don't take long at all.
I mean, I don't think he should hang his head. I don't think he should hang his head at all. I mean, again, taking on Benjamin Chimera, pushing him to his limits, that has to show Denham something.
Oh, yeah. Especially because, Benjamin Chimera's been in this for a long time.
Oh, yeah. And he had the crowd support behind him. Not just because of his family, but because Benjamin Chimera decided to go out there and diss absolutely every person on the roster. He dissed Missy King, which is the teacher at Milan School, Angela, of course, who went to Milan High School and is my girlfriend, and then also Donovan Cecil. So he was just dissing everybody.
Well, you got to be out there, you get all the heads, that way you just get it solved one time. It's easier. Less work.
We've talked about this before, there's certain people there's 2 different trains of thought. Some wrestlers want the crowd behind them.
Yeah.
Others want to get in their opponent's head or get in their opponent's head, which usually means the fans don't like you. That's kind of what I've noticed. Seems to be the trend.
Makes it a lot more easier.
There's
get
always
into their head and make them overthink of everything they're doing in their whole wrestling day.
Yeah.
Might overwhelm them.
That's what I think. That might have been what happened, but
at the end of the day, it's not a bad idea, not a bad plan.
We'll find out. What are you looking for, time?
No, I drink my Red Bull.
Oh yeah, you chugged that thing probably. Moving on, we're going to be talking about somebody who we've actually had on the podcast before. We've had Towelboy.
Yes.
Who does not go by Towelboy anymore.
No,
he does not like being called Towelboy.
No.
He's also been called, I believe, Super Simp or something by Paris McQueen.
I don't know.
I don't think he likes that one either.
I don't think he likes that one either.
I mean, she means it well. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's supposed to be something good. But we all know what simp means, and if you don't take the time out to Google it yourself.
She probably did that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I don't know what YouTube's rules are. He is going to be making his debut in the ring against somebody who is one of my favorites. I absolutely love watching this man wrestle, and that's Piper GK Fam.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome when he's entering the ring.
Oh, the fans love him, and he's always... He's another one. And almost every single wrestler, I don't know any who don't, when they come in that ring, they're just full of fire. They're ready to get going. Piper GK Fam feeds off the crowd, and he wants to win every time he steps in that ring. And he's somebody who... Piper GK Fam, he's just so quick. You know how hard it is to be somebody who moves faster than you do?
Pretty damn hard.
It's pretty damn hard.
Because I can guarantee you, if I got in there, he'd probably run circles around me before I got one lap done.
Oh yeah, you'd be gassed out just by doing this.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where are you
going? Where are you going? What way did you go? What the hell? Yeah, I'm just like, shit, man.
All right, so...
I had to have one of those canned air.
Yeah. But this will be the first time that we're seeing Towboy wrestle. Now, we've seen Towboy plenty of times. He's usually on the outside of the ring, distracting referees, doing...
Supporting his partner, I guess you'd say.
Sure, well, distracting referees, choking people out on the ropes.
Supporting your partner out there.
When the ref's not looking.
Emotional support.
Attacking people from behind. And trying to hit Bobby Fulton and all that. So
anyway, Bobby Fulton started it.
Well, anyway, point is that Austin Elm and Piper GK Fam are in this matchup. Now, of course, Paris McQueen's out there. We'll give Paris this. We've talked about this before. We actually brought this up to Towboy when we were interviewing him about whether or not Paris McQueen would be in his corner when it came time for him to be in the ring. And she was.
Yep,
she was there.
Right there.
She was there. So
no hesitation.
I will give her that. She may have came out a little later than but it's the point is that she was in his corner. And they were in each other's corner all night. We'll get to that later, of course. And in someone else's corner also, which I'm excited to talk about that. So Austin Elm, I mean, I was very... What did you think? What were you expecting from Cowboy here? I mean, listen, I don't know anything. I've never seen him wrestle.
I know he seems like a very athletic dude.
And listen, if you're going to talk that much trash, you have to be able to back it up somewhat.
I was kind of expecting to come in and see him, them to bounce like crazy. And just move with the high flying and all that fun
and that's exactly what it was.
Because they've got it. I mean,
And Piper GK Fam is somebody who easily could be zero gravity champion at some point.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm a huge fan of him. And listen, Cowboy. I mean, he has a lot of talent. I will say that.
There ain't any reason he shouldn't be on the Better One Border roster.
One major takeaway from this is that he is very talented. I mean, he's hanging around a very talented crew. I mean, you look at Paris McQueen when he's champion. So I mean, obviously. He's in good company, and we'll talk again later about some of the other company that he's supposedly keeping. I think that he has a very bright future and could also be someone who wins the zero gravity title in the future. However,
very easily,
it's going to take a little bit longer for his road to get there because Austin Elm did lose. Piper GK Fam did get the victory. So, Piper, the zero gravity division is one of those, another stacked division in Battle.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Piper GK Fam has, I believe, and I could be wrong about this, and if I am, let me know in the comments, but I believe that in the last 2 times he's been to Battle on the Border in singles competition, or not Battle Royals, basically, I believe he's 2-0. In the last 2 matches that I can remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since he's been there, so I could be wrong. But even if he's not, even if he just wins this one, again, moving up in the division.
Has to be getting up higher and higher.
Has to be getting closer to that zero gravity spot, which Avery Hurts holds the title.
At some point, he could get his chance, or Austin Elm could climb up past him again and get his chance at it.
What you said, if you wrestle, at every single show, you might lose one week, but if you get on a 3-match win streak, how is Dennis supposed to deny you a title shot?
Exactly.
So,
I mean, 2, 3 months, maybe even 4 months, and you could have another title shot. That's how quick. That's how quick, and how many people we have that's able to rotate like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could change tomorrow. You never know.
It could. Now, unfortunately for Austin Elm, this wasn't necessarily a great look for him. He was carried out of the match, out of the arena, I guess. I don't know where they went. Who knows where they went after this, but he was carried out by Paris McQueen. Not a great look, probably, for somebody who is also being called Mr. Simp, I believe.
Well,
you're getting carried out by Paris McQueen, who I guess is his associate. Paris McQueen.
I guess she'll have that sometimes.
I mean, listen, he's bailed her out plenty of times. I guess this time she bailed him out.
We'll help him out a little bit too.
Question is, and this is something that I just now thought of, is that do you think, so we know that Cowboy wasn't there when Paris won the title. I don't know I don't remember if I told you or if you watched the video.
I watched the videos and stuff.
I don't know so do you think that Paris did all she could in order to make sure that Austin would win? Or did she not try as hard as Cowboy would have? Or was that random guy who was at New Beginnings would have? I still don't know who that was. He was just there, just some guy who had like longer hair, and I was like wondering where security was. Like, why aren't you getting this? Guy's running towards the ring, and then he did it twice, and I'm like, who is it? We've never figured out who it was. And Sean Bossman asked Paris McQueen in the back, like, who was that? And she's like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm worried about it, Paris.
I'm worried about it. I want to know who it is.
How many people are running around in this group?
Maybe she's just building herself a good group, good amount of people to stand by them, and
I mean,
get that support that they need in the ring.
Well, when you have a champion, that does attract a lot of people who want to help you.
Yep. But
what it also puts is a target on your back.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Oh, that's undeniably, yeah. She's 100% got a target.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if people keep trying to go after her title, too.
And Tal will too, just by, association.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, we have our third match of the night. That would be Creed Costello with Party Mike.
I was excited for this match.
We know how much these two hate each other. I mean, we asked them to be on the podcast, and we could not. It was a little bit another behind the scenes for us. We tried to get them on the podcast at Milan, and we like, you go talk to Creed, because you and Creed have similar mindsets, and I'll go talk to Party Mike because I think I could get along with them. We tried to get them together, and they were fighting. I mean, even before the match started, we had the tripod. We were setting up the tripod like this. We turned around, they're throwing haymakers at each other. Had to call security, and it was an absolute travesty. So then they had to be separated by locker rooms. I mean, it was.
I think we're just going to interview them separately.
Probably. And at the heart of this is Bobby Fulton.
Yes.
And some money.
Yes. But somebody needs to figure it out.
I feel like I seen a post, maybe, and I could be wrong about this also, but I feel like I seen a post where it was decided that the money would be split, and that I believe Creed Costello was very upset about that because he thinks he should get the whole money, and of course Party Mike is like, well, actually, I deserve the whole money, but I'm willing to split it if you are. And
well, in my opinion,
but they can't split Bobby Fulton.
My opinion is they're both like the ref was incorrect.
Which one? Whichever one said that Party Mike won is what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Well, listen, I don't know. I couldn't see it from where we were, and you couldn't see it either. So you're just saying that because you like Creed's, you like Creed's mustache? Is that what it is?
His foot was on there.
Well, I don't know. Point is, though, is that this is a grudge match.
They didn't go at the same time.
And the winner wins possession of Bobby Fulton. I heard somebody say that it was winner gets custody of Bobby Fulton, which was a funny way to word that. I think.
Well, they better be paying Bobby Fulton child support.
I think that was Creed Costello who said that, but that's an interesting way to look at it. Now, I mean, like I said, these two do not like each other.
No, absolutely not.
They both want to win, even if it wasn't just because of the money or Bobby Fulton's managerial services, which we know how long of a way that goes. You look back, Justin Xavier, former Zero Gravity champion. Paxton Calloway, current heavyweight champion. Yep. That's the storied roster. People who are a part of Bobby Fulton's family, or whatever you want to call it, they seem to rise towards the top.
Yep, and taking over.
So that helps the money. And also, these two just don't like each other. They want to beat each other up.
Oh, of course. That's one of the main reasons, is they just want to beat the crap out of each other.
And the fans really love Party Mike. Not a huge fan of Creed Costello.
But they enjoy them both in the ring.
I will say this. Yeah,
they are a very fan favorite when it comes to a wrestling match.
I mean, this could be a main event at a show. I truly believe it.
Easily a main event.
In the future, because this match went to a no disqualification, it went to a double disqualification. I apologize. It went to a double DQ. They hit each other in the gonads. I think that's how I have to say it on YouTube because of,
I don't say the other one. Like it could take them down.
In the basketballs?
Yeah.
In the baseballs, tennis balls? Yeah. They got hit in the lower region of the body where it hurts a lot when you get kicked there. They both, and at the same time.
Yeah.
Funny story, I actually had seen this once before in a kickboxing match.
Oh, really?
In person, in Sunman, yeah, that's where I seen it. And they kicked each other in the gonads at the same time. This happened again, where they both did it, and the referee said it was a double DQ. So this still is not. We still don't know who won.
I think they just made a belt for him and just let him duke it out for the belt.
I mean, at this point,
I don't know what you would call it, but
at this point, I feel like at this point, and if you're Bobby Fulton, you have to be
name it bragging rights.
The bragging rights championship. Yeah. Hey, you're on the You're on the Hey, UFC has that BFT or BM. What is it? BMF title. So I mean, it could be. But listen, here's what I do know is that this is definitely not over between these two.
No,
we didn't really talk about the match a lot. There was a lot of stuff. I mean, they quickly went to the outside. People were getting thrown into poles and
it was as crazy as of a match as you would expect to see when you see those two get in the ring.
Well, like I said, this could easily be a main event in the future, and it very well might be because these two are definitely not done with each other.
No.
At what point, what do you think it'll take to get a finale in this matchup? What's it going to take for one of these guys to finally pin the other one?
For everything to stop being a tie, for one.
Two ties in a row.
Two ties in a row. One was both DQ'd in the first one. They both come out.
Feet landed at the same time.
Yeah, so if they stop tying, that'd be nice. So one of them actually wins.
There has to be at some point that Bobby Fulton has to have a preference.
I don't think he can get That's.
Did you think
I don't know if he can get that.
He's hanging around Party Mike a lot, and he's like, I don't really like his partying, or you hanging around Creed Costello a lot, and he's like, I don't like the mustache. Like, what is it? He has to have a preference of who he wants to win.
Well, this guy watches sports too much.
Yeah, this guy's gambles on sports too much.
Yeah.
Talking about, both of them do. That's what we were going to try to get him to talk about during the podcast, and they started swinging on each other, because I think they had different national champions as winners of the men's basketball tournament.
Probably freaking
one was rooting for Florida, one was rooting for Houston. It was a crazy scene. We should have. It's too bad that your camera wasn't recording. We could have got behind the scenes.
Yeah,
posted that on the dirt sheets.
Oh, we still could have.
Oh, okay.
Take it with you.
So who knows? Yeah, right. Who knows how this is going to finally end? But I have a feeling Dunham is coming up with a plan to figure it out.
Maybe.
We've already seen maybe. Denham's like,
I don't know, man. He probably doesn't even know what to do.
Well, what do you do? What do you do?
Exactly, I don't know. Give them a death match to figure it out.
Hey, don't give them ideas.
Give them a death match and just figure it out.
I mean, there's a hardcore division for a reason.
Exactly.
I mean,
just tell them, put them in a hardcore and tell them, figure it out. This is a hardcore match. Go.
Well, these two have been in hardcore matches before. Morris Hill. They were part of that 4-on-4.
That's why we throw them in there and say, duke it out, figure it out.
We'll see. We'll find out. But yeah, it was a great match though up until the end. I mean, you just hate seeing the match end in a double disqualification.
Mm-hmm. If they had barbed wire around the whole ring and made it a death match, that'd really pep one of them step.
They probably they probably both pass out from blood loss at the same time. I mean, at this point,
probably.
I can't imagine. I don't know what it's gonna take, but really, when you think about this, really who we should be thinking about here is Bobby Fulton. I mean, he has to deal with this. He has Paxton Calloway he has to worry about.
Well, then that's cutting into their time that he gets to manager them.
Yeah,
their manager.
Yeah.
So right now we're going months into what was supposed to be that full year.
Yeah. Yeah, for at least a year. You get Bobby's managerial services for at least a year. So and Paxton's been much longer than that. So it's like,
I don't know
what's going to happen.
But I mean, I guess if he doesn't like them, he can drop them too.
I feel like at some point Bobby Fulton's got to be like, you know what, I'm done with this.
Well, I don't know. Maybe both of them shouldn't get it.
It's either both get it or both don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
either split it or nothing.
I feel like you maybe do one more match.
Yeah.
See if that's the finale.
And if they do a damn tie again, just split it. Just call her good.
Goes to Bobby Fulton and said, "Dude, you have to make a decision. You want both or neither."
Yep.
Because I can't. I mean, I'll watch them wrestle. They've wrestled with each other 1,000 times.
Yeah, but you can't have the same result on the money and the managerial service, though.
That's true. I mean, at some point, it's got to reach an end.
Yeah, eventually, they're not going to benefit either of them to have him because he probably won't pick them up if they wait a full year fighting over it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But we're going to take a quick break real quick, and then we'll be back to talk about the rest of My Own Madness.
Oh, yeah. And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that zero amount of break for you. Mm-hmm. We are going to be talking about the Zero Gravity title match up here. This is a great match. This was a 4-way between the champion Avery Hertz, Ethan Evans, RJ Flores, who is, I believe it's the first time we've seen him.
Yes.
And who did I say already? Ethan Evans, TJ Fury.
TJ Fury.
It's Hertz versus El Toro Loco, RJ Flores, Ethan Evans, and TJ Fury. Too many people for me to remember off the top of my head.
Arturo Loco, I'm pretty sure this is kind of coming back. We haven't seen him very much, though.
It could be the second time we've seen him. It might be the first. I don't remember.
I think it was the second.
I think it's the second time.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Because we've seen it before.
But a 4-way, for 4 ways for a title is always entertaining. Same with 3 ways for titles because you don't even have to be the champion. You don't have to pin the champion to win.
No.
You can pin someone else and win.
Yeah,
so,
get it.
Unfortunately for Avery, or fortunately, depending on how you feel about Avery, this is a stacked card against him.
Yep.
And these are 3 people who are. First off, we already know Ethan and TJ do not like each other.
No.
TJ and Avery do not like each other.
No.
Ethan and Avery are supposedly a part of Darkness Worldwide, or whatever that's called, with David Barnaby Spector. So are they going to team up? How long are they going to? And then you have RJ Flores, who's there, and he's kind of honestly has an advantage.
Yeah,
because he's the one who's like kind of just there and is like, well, I don't have a problem with anybody, or I'm not friends with anybody. Like, I'll just
exist,
and that kind of gives him an advantage.
Run with it.
The question, of course, in my head going into this was, were Avery and Ethan going to team up in this match at any point? They did. To start off.
Of course.
Then, of course, as soon as Avery went for a title, Ethan said, I don't think so. What are you doing here? I don't think so, buddy. So then it lost track from there. And listen, this match We we've talked about it before. We try not to go play by play in these because you guys got to see it to believe it.
Exactly.
And it's better that way. There's so much going on that even if I did want to write stuff down, I don't know if I'd have been able to keep up
with it.
I mean, there was so much going on. These guys are jumping out of the ring, flying off the top ropes. People are going all directions. It's hard to watch 4 people fight because you have 2 over here, 2 over here, 3 over here, 1 laying there. What's that guy doing? So much going on.
Back and forth.
But and then the question is also, without David Barnabas Spector there, are Ethan and Avery going to be able to win?
Yes.
That's the question. Well, that was answered. It came down to Avery and TJ at the same exact time having a pin attempt. Referee goes down, counts. Oh my gosh, who won? Do we have a new champion? Do we not? What happened? Avery gets the victory somehow. Not sure how the referee decided that one because it was at the same time. But I mean, maybe Avery had the pin on a second sooner. Maybe. That would be
That's
fair.
all it takes, a second sooner.
Literally 1 second.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah, it literally takes just 1 second.
Maybe that's the case. I don't really know. We didn't get an explanation. But something very interesting after the match happened. When the title was returned to Avery, TJ said, I think I won. And actually, I want to take that for a second. And he took it away from Avery. Avery rolls out of the ring because he doesn't want none of the smoke from TJ. Because TJ really wants to get his hands on Avery.
Oh, yeah.
Because you weren't there again. No, you weren't there for Morris Hill either. In Morris Hill, Avery hit TJ with the briefcase or hit him with a low blow. Somehow was able to defeat TJ in a bad way. So, of course, he's still angry about that. TJ has the title, says, I'm going to be champion. He took it. Avery ran. Avery didn't get his title back. Did he ever get it back? Did Denham go up to TJ and get the title back? Does TJ still have it in his possession?
I would assume probably.
I don't know.
But it's hard telling.
But what I do know is that Avery's not going to be happy about that. And more specifically, David Barnabas Spector is not going to be happy about that.
Oh, no. You know how he gets when he loses.
He won.
Well, I know, but
he didn't lose it. He doesn't have the title.
I was going to say, there's a sense of somewhat loss, the fact that he didn't chase after his title after it was taken from him, but...
Yeah, back at Darkness Worldwide headquarters, Avery gets there, and how'd you do? Oh, I won. Where's your title? Well, can you imagine going up to David Barnabas Spector and saying, well, I won, but I don't have the title?
Like, I took it.
I mean, I'm still champion, I promise, but I don't have it. Well, I don't know what's next. I imagine that TJ's probably going to want to get his hands on Avery, especially since he stole the title. And I imagine that Avery probably didn't like that too much.
No.
So I imagine that might be something. But Avery does have another test that we'll talk about later that he has to face first. But TJ... He almost had a pin and a victory, so he has to be sitting at the top.
Came close. He's got to be up there for
a future title shot. Yeah. And then Ethan Evans, that guy can do. I mean, listen, I don't like Ethan Evans. He's attacked me multiple times. He talks trash about me and the King family all the time, but he's extremely talented, and he can go to any division he wants to. We will see him in Clarksville in the hardcore division. We'll talk about that later. And then you have RJ Flores. He put on a hell of a performance.
Oh, hell yeah, he did.
And I want to see him back.
Oh, for sure. See him back right at Zero Gravity where he probably should stay.
Zero Gravity is definitely his division. And I think, again,
he does a damn good
job. We talked about it earlier with Piper and Austin Elm. Like, very quickly, the Zero Gravity division is building. It has to be one of the deepest on the card.
I can't even tell you how many people is on
it. Could be a million. I mean, at this point, I have no clue. It's probably not a million.
There's so many people that got added, it's hard to keep track.
It's hard to keep track. And then you always have people like Jade. We haven't seen Jaden Jett in a long time. Justin Xavier lost the title. He hasn't been back since. So there's a lot of people. Keep an eye on that. But we'll talk about later what Avery has to do in Clarksville. Because there is something there. Then we have, following that match, we have Ledbetter. I believe he issued an open challenge.
He did.
To anybody who was in the back, and someone signed that contract, and that someone was Andrew Williams. Now, we've seen Andrew Williams. It's been a while. He was in Versailles and subsequently Armageddon back in September. It's been a while since we've seen him. He answers the challenge. Back then, Ledbetter and Andrew Williams had problems. Andrew Williams fought Ledbetter. Lucy B. Sweet, which is Andrew Williams' girlfriend, fought Shauna. Andrew Williams tried to get involved in that. Ledbetter came out and saved him. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
So Andrew Williams
beating on going in here, beating on going in the ring.
That
was the one you had to leave for.
I left
and I told you they were beating the crap out of each other both in and out of the ring.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of stuff going on in that one. So this one is kind of like trying to settle up old debts for Andrew Williams. He did not forget that.
No, of course.
Sergeant Ledbetter did not forget Andrew Williams. And listen, Sergeant Ledbetter, as much as I like him, he's been kind of on a slide here. I mean, he's my trainer, and listen, I mean, he's taking it out on me at training, and I'm sure he is listening to this. And when he lost to Ben Chimera and Sunman, that was Not shocking in the way that it was like an upset, because Ben Kagomera is very talented, but you know, he's my trainer, and I was rooting for him, and I don't like seeing him laid out in the middle of the ring, knocked out. Then he has a match against Ethan, loses that because of Ben Chimera once again. It's like, man, this is 2 times in a row. Is Ben Chimera going to come out during this match against Andrew Williams? Because that seems to be his
sweep
thing.
up the floor.
Yeah, clean sweep. So I don't know.
Sweep real quick.
But
get him out of there.
Benjamin Chimera did not make an appearance. Instead, what did make an appearance was Hulk Gloves. Now, I want to see how you feel about this, because Andrew Williams brought him out first. And he looked like he was about ready to hit. Now, listen, I mean, Hulk Gloves are dangerous, I guess.
I guess.
I mean,
I don't know.
I did a lot of damage. He hits. Andrew Williams has him. Goes to hit Sergeant Ledbetter. Sergeant Ledbetter gets some reverses, gets some offense in. Gloves come off. And Ledbetter picks him up and uses them. Now, how do you feel about that personally? Because Andrew Williams introduced him. Sergeant Ledbetter ended up using him.
I feel like you still consider it an underhanded tactic.
Was it an underhanded tactic when Andrew Williams had him on?
No, he didn't use them.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter whether or not he used him or not, because what did happen is that Sergeant Ledbetter did use him and was able to get the victory 1-2-3 after a Hulk punch, I assume would be what you call that.
I think it's safe to say that Hulk punch might have saved him, because he had a run and a lot of loses.
He did have, and listen, it was close. Andrew Williams, if he wouldn't have been so distracted by the Hulk gloves and trying to like humiliate Sergeant Ledbetter, he hit a drop kick off the top ropes on Sergeant Ledbetter. There was a second there where I got a little worried, like, man, is that going to be 3 matches in a
three
row?
in a row.
Like, I don't want to go to training if that's the case.
Right tire at the point.
he'll be so
retire and get a new trainer.
Well, hold on now. hold on. Retire and train. I don't know about all that now. So, but no. So Sergeant Ledbetter did get the victory, though. Question is, so Sergeant Ledbetter back on the winning side. I feel like it's going to take a couple wins for him again, and I'm sure him and Ben are not done. We talked about that before, or I did on the last review for New Beginnings. It's definitely not done between these two. No. When they'll cross paths, who knows? They both did get victories in this show, so they're both moving up the rankings at the same time. And then Andrew Williams, with his loss in that kind of a humiliating fashion, I imagine it's going to take some time for him to get back up into the rankings.
Oh, for sure.
But hey, we'll see him in Clarksville, so we'll talk about him later. And actually, we're not even done talking about him during this show.
Oh, yeah.
If he shows up later,
Coming back later.
We'll have a big discussion about that. In fact, it's actually, I believe,
this next match.
The next match is. So, this matchup has a lot of implications. Carson Drake is returning, taking on our BOTB heavyweight champion, title for title.
Yes.
BOTB heavyweight champion taking on the NWA TV champion. Winner gets both. Now, Billy Corgan, runner of NWA, probably wouldn't mind Paxton winning.
Oh,
Paxton's
yeah.
a big
get a
dude.
little bit of height on us.
Carson's kind of a jerk. I don't know if you know that.
No, he's all right.
Well, to some people. Oh, no, it's a little warm in here, actually. It's a little warm in here. Sorry, I got to take this off. It's hot. It's like 80 degrees in here.
Super fan, huh?
We got to get 80. Huh? Oh, would you look at that? That's crazy. I didn't even know I was wearing
He
it.
does something.
That's an accident. Huh. Convenient. Anywho, so Billy Corgan probably wouldn't mind Paxton Drake. Or
Paxton Drake?
Paxton Calloway. Paxton Calloway, on the roster, he's 7 foot tall. And,
oh, yeah.
Denham probably didn't want Carson Drake to win, let's just be honest. I mean, they didn't have to deal with Carson Drake.
He couldn't handle it.
Well, so here's the match. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, we've seen these guys fight a couple times, actually.
Yes,
one of the first matches we've seen in Battle on the Border when we were as fans was Paxton versus Carson. I believe Paxton at this point going into this match was 2-0 against Carson. So the odds were good.
Well, we watched one they didn't show up to.
Yeah.
He showed up. He was hurt.
Yeah.
He did something.
That's Carson Drake was hurt, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And they had 2 people take on the heavyweight champion, said if you win, I still win the title. Like,
yeah.
What? I don't know. But, so yeah, I was going into this match, it's like, well, Carson is willing to do whatever it takes to win. We know that. I call it underhanded tactics. You call it other things. However, this match was crazy. So first off, we don't talk about play-by-play a lot, I know, but listen. Yeah. So at one point, they're on the outside. Paxton looks like he's about to squash Carson through a table. This isn't a no DQ, but it's not using a weapon, so it's legal.
It's legal.
He goes to land on Carson, and Carson moves. Paxton goes through the table. Carson runs into the ring and gets the ref back up, because of course Carson hit the referee before all that happened.
Oh,
because why wouldn't he? He's Carson Drake.
Why not?
And tells her to count. Well, it starts counting. And then Andrew Williams comes out and runs Bobby Fulton off. What's the beef there? I don't know. I seen Battle on the Border's official Facebook page said that Denham thinks that Andrew Williams was paid by Carson Drake to do that. I didn't even think of that as an option. But if Andrew Williams runs off Bobby Fulton, and, well, to be more specific, Bobby Fulton runs off Andrew Williams.
Yeah.
But you get my point. Bobby Fulton's no longer out there. And then at some point in the match, Paris McQueen and Cowboy are there, and they're helping Carson, and they help Carson win by using the title, and the referees down there looking, and Carson Drake wins the BOTB heavyweight title with the help of with the help of Cowboy, Paris McQueen. Andrew Williams was also there.
This is a lot of people in one match.
Carson Drake went to people in the locker room and just asked every single person, "Will you help me?" And got the 4 people who said yes, or the 3 people to say yes finally, and it worked.
Yeah, he got the title though.
The question I have is, going forward, is Carson going to be helping Andrew Williams out more? Is this one big group? Was this a one-time thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that Carson Drake is our heavyweight title now, is our heavyweight champion. So and then listen, Paxton Calloway, longest reigning heavyweight champion in BOTB history.
Oh yeah, yes.
He had so many good matches. I mean, listen, you know who I don't want to be is the next person who faces Paxton Calloway.
You probably will.
Because what?
I'm gonna tell him you got a challenge.
No, I didn't. I just said I don't want to be, because Paxton's going to be angry.
Yeah.
He's, oh man. I mean,
He's just gonna
his shoulder was injured. Like,
step done.
His shoulder was up.
Step done.
I don't want to be the next person. And we do know who will be taking on Paxton next. We'll be talking about that here in just a few minutes. So now we have our co-main event. Paxton Calloway, I mean, listen, I think at some point he's going to get another title shot.
Oh, yeah.
Going to get a rematch. Carson, I guess, congratulations.
Don't they get an automatic rematch?
Sometimes.
I thought most get like an automatic rematch. Like, no, that's bull crap. You know?
Well, especially under that circumstances, Denham is not going to like that.
No. That's got to be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah.
And the only way that can be dealt with is in the ring.
Mm-hmm. So next, we have the Hoosier Women's Rumble. Now, I have some vested interests going into this matchup, because my girlfriend Angela King is making her debut in this match, and her mom Missy King is making her debut. However, there's a lot of other women in this matchup. Let's talk about them. We have, of course, Angela King. I'll actually bring this over so I don't have to be looking off. Angela King, Madison Payne, Paris McQueen, Missy King, Lucy B. Sweet, Betty D, Casey Clay, Steffi Mack, and Emily Rose, all in this matchup. So
That's a lot of people.
8, 9 women in this matchup. I mean, that's going to be, who knows? Anything can happen. The final 4, we'll just talk about the final 4. Casey Clay, Betty D and Emily Rose were going at each other, of course.
Yeah.
Casey Clay was in there for a while. Steffi Mack was in there for a while, and there was a lot of stuff going on. I'm not saying I know this for a fact, but I think my girlfriend eliminated Casey Clay. Aha! So there was a lot of stuff going on, though. The final 4 came down to Paris McQueen, Madison Payne, and the Kings.
Yes.
Now, I trained with the Kings. I know the Kings are capable. I mean, Missy's lifted me up over the top rope and thrown me to the floor. And then, of course, my girlfriend, she is quick enough where she can make you, like, you're running towards her, you think you're gonna, clothesline her over the top rope. The next thing you know, you're on the floor. You're like, what just happened? So, I mean, and then of course you have Madison Payne, strong, powerful, future of BOTB's women's division.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, Angela, but I do mean that when I say that. You okay?
Yeah, that's just all the thing on the floor.
Then you have Paris McQueen, the champion. We know what she's capable of.
Yes.
Angela gets eliminated. It's Missy, Madison, Paris in the ring. Madison ends up eliminated. Now it's just Paris, Missy in the ring. And then, I'm sick of saying his name. Austin Elm comes out, also known as Cowboy, comes out, and he lifts down the top rope. Missy goes over the top rope, which means Paris McQueen wins the Hoosier Rumble, meaning that the next time we're in Indiana, she does not have to defend her title.
Yep.
However, Denham was not a huge fan of the fact that Cowboy got himself involved in like 5 of the 7 matches that we had that night. It was actually only 3, but you get my point. This was I almost cussed. This is the Cowboy show, apparently. He's out there and everything, costing Paxton titles. So Denham said, I don't like this. You don't have to defend your title, but the Kings are going to get their chance at revenge. You're going to take on Paris McQueen and a partner of her choosing in Milan the next time they're in Milan, which will be June 7th. So it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Paris has some time to recruit. So what I'll say is Paris wins, again, underhanded tactics. Talboy doing everything it takes to make sure that Paris wins. Paris not doing everything it takes to make sure that Talboy wins. Talboy, if you're listening to this, blink twice if you need help. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are so many people in the locker room. Get yourself away from. You're going to continue to get drugged down. You're continuing to do the dirty work for Paris. There was a random guy there who was helping also.
Wow, they may know him.
Well, obviously they knew him there. I'm just saying.
There you go. He's not random then.
Well, we don't know him. I'm just saying. So, what we'll say is this. Congratulations to Paris, I guess, whatever. But, who do you think her partner's going to be?
Queen.
There's so many people it could be. I mean, Casey Clay was in that match.
I was about to say she might go after Casey Clay to be her partner.
Madison Payne was one of the final two.
Could be one of her partners.
Betty D was in there. Yeah. We haven't seen Storm Garcon in a while.
Yeah, she might grab one of them too also.
Or could it be someone like Shauna? I mean, Paris beat Shauna for the title. But like, what a way to, like, a peace offering. Be like, hey, listen, I know what I did. I get that. But listen, I'm apologizing. Let's go. Let's win this matchup. If we win this, if we beat the Kings, you'll get a title shot. Because she's going to be nervous about taking on the Kings with a random partner. I mean, this is mother-daughter. The chemistry between these two is going to be great. And then you have a random partner, chemistry's not going to be so great.
No.
So who knows who her partner is going to be, but you can find out June 7th in Milan, but that's a little bit of ways away, so we won't talk about that too much more. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, final matchup to talk about.
Yes.
Hardcore Championship. Jeff King taking on the title holder, Hooks. Hooks beat Jeff King for the title back in New Year's Eve Bash.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Hooks talked a lot of trash to me a lot. Since then, Jeff King.
He sounded like he was coming after your butt next.
He told me once that he was going to drag me out from behind the sound booth and beat my ass. That was his words exactly.
So
I mean, he made it pretty clear.
I'm pissed off.
But then, and it was another show after that. He said that I'm lucky that he likes me because otherwise he would have already beaten me up. So I mean, I might be on his good side again. I don't know.
You're teetering. It sounds like you're teetering.
Since then, Hooks has defended his title against Bruce Gray, and now is back to taking on Jeff. Then you have Jeff, he took on Ethan Evans, took on Deacon Sherman.
Yep,
he's back. And Hooks also fought Bomani. I forgot about it. I'm trying to remember who it was. Bomani too. So they both had 2 matches. They both won. Jeff back, #1 contender in his hometown in Milan. By the way, speaking of that, going back for just a second to Milan about the Kings, because I know the Kings. Kings were obviously hometown favorites.
Oh, yeah.
They're all from Milan.
Obviously.
When my girlfriend hit a drop kick, hit Casey K with a drop kick, fans went crazy. Hit Lucy B with Ian Seguri, fans went crazy. Every time Missy hit a clothesline to look like it would take anybody else's head off, crowd went crazy. Jeff King comes out to the ring, crowd goes crazy. They don't even realize that your speakers blew out.
Exactly. So now, it's awesome. I need the Kings that are more often malfunctions.
So this match starts. Hooks comes out and he talks trash about the Hoosiers team. For anyone who knows, Milan is where the movie Hoosiers is based off of.
Yes. And they also have, I think,
he said he was too. Yeah, he said he was going to fight. He said he was going to fight one of the players and punch him in the mouth, and he was going to hit the coaches, and he was really trashing Milan. In fact, he was actually wearing a Batesville Bulldogs shirt. And for those that don't know, Batesville is their rival.
Yes.
So he was coming to. He knew he's facing Jeff King in his hometown. Might as well just play into it. The fans aren't going to cheer me anyway. What's the point?
Yep.
And I don't think Hooks really cares whether or not fans cheer for him or not.
No.
Since Jeff King's been
doubt
there,
it.
they haven't really been cheering for him a lot.
No.
And the match gets started off hot because as soon as Jeff King gets in the ring, he's doing his victory lap, talking, pointing to people, and then Hooks just hits him with a light tube right in the
Gets
back.
it done.
So that's how that starts. And then, of course, listen, if you've seen these guys wrestle in hardcore before, you know what these guys are doing. It's painful. I can't explain it other than it's just
pure blood.
So much pain. There's thumbtacks. There's a skateboard with thumbtacks on it. I don't know who would ride that. There's
somebody.
A board with barbed wire that Hooks ends up going through. There's light tubes. There's chairs with barbed wire, bats with barbed wire to 2x4s. Yep. It's just mayhem.
They need to have a licensed physician on standby.
They probably should. So, however, going into this matchup, or the end of this matchup, Hooks goes through that board with barbed wire. Hooks is able to, or Jeff King is able to take advantage of that, and he becomes the 2-time hardcore champion.
Yep. Regaining
that title in front of his home crowd, in front of his wife, in front of his daughter who debuted earlier that night. for his family member who passed away in a car accident, Austin King. That was a benefit show for Austin King and the Austin King Foundation, as well as the Dollars for Scholars. What a night for the King family.
Oh, it was a hell of a night.
Sure. You know, Missy and Angela didn't win, but they gave it their best.
Yeah. Hey, this is their debut.
Yeah.
You're not always supposed to win the first time you go out there.
I mean, not when there's 8 other women in the ring.
Yes.
Or
Very
7.
very difficult.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this up because Darren's got stuff he's got to do. But before we do that, a couple announcements we have to make real quick.
Yes.
I know you're already going to try to turn that camera off. We got a couple announcements. Real
I
quick.
was going to turn it off. I was looking to see what the heck you were grabbing.
Oh, yeah. What time is it here? We
I
got
don't know.
6 minutes we can make this debut at the latest. All right, so real quick. First off, Clarksville Chaos, April 19th. It's coming up in a couple days, probably from the time this is announced. Make sure you're there. Go to Battle on the Border's Facebook page, Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling, to buy tickets and to find out where it's at. You can also go down to the link in the comments below to buy tickets. A couple of announcements. First off, Shauna Reed is going to be doing a seminar from 3 to 5 before the show. So if you are a local pro wrestler or someone who is training and you want to sharpen your skills, make sure you're there. It's 3 to 5 at the Vernon Township Hall, I believe.
I think it's like, what, $25?
I think it's $25. But go to Battle on the Border's Pro Wrestling Facebook page. You can find all the information there. But she is doing a seminar. Also, announced on Benjamin Chimera's radio show, there's going to be women's tag team division titles. So, who do you think will be the inaugural women's tag team champions? Make sure you comment down below.
Yes.
I already know, of course, who I want it to be. And that's the King family. Because, you know, I'm dating their daughter, and they would hit me if I said anything different.
Probably.
Some matches that we have here. We have Avery Hertz taking on Marion Fontaine Quigley. Who do you think is going to win?
Marion Fontaine.
I'm rooting for that. Avery's not going to be happy.
I'm sorry, but I really like Marion Fontaine.
Oh, there you go.
I like his music. I like when he comes out.
You do really like him.
He's really cool, man.
You do. Ethan Evans takes on Big Sherm in the hardcore division.
Ethan Evans.
Listen, no offense to Big Sherm. Big Sherm put up a hell of a fight against Jeff King. Ethan Evans is an absolute insane man.
He's a fucking animal.
He is something else. I don't want to be. I mean, listen. At some point, I got to get him back for attacking.
It's like at some point you have to go against
But
him.
I don't want to. I'm delaying that as much as I can. Then for the TNA, or geez, not for that.
TNA, holy crap.
For the tag championships, the Dungeon takes on DNA. That's why I said that. Who do you think's gonna win?
The Dungeon.
Yeah, I don't really know DNA.
I don't either.
I know that they've won like 9 different titles across.
If they're not as big as the Dungeon, then their odds go slim.
I don't. Well, there's not a lot of people who are bigger than the Dungeon.
Exactly. So
Paris McQueen takes on Sam and Slammy for the women's title.
Paris McQueen.
I'm rooting for Sam and Slammy just because I
Paris
don't like
McQueen
Paris
ain't
McQueen.
gonna let it go
Paris
that
McQueen,
fast. Are you nuts?
Well, I know, but Paris McQueen is just, she is underhanded.
Mm-hmm.
Ari Alexander makes her return taking on Lucy B. Sweet.
REA is gonna win that.
Yeah, Lucy B. Sweet, not a huge fan of her either. She was the one that my girlfriend Inseguri kicked. So she was trying to get my girlfriend up. So I'm rooting for Ari Alexander. And then we have, as of this moment, this is the final match that's been announced. That is Paxton Calloway taking on Andrew Williams. Now, we talked about it earlier. We knew Paxton was going to get his hands on somebody. It turns out to be the man who ran off Bobby Fulton. I'm, of course, taking Paxton in this matchup.
Yeah,
Andrew Williams might get chokeslammed through the ring.
Yeah, that's all right. I want to see him at least go out there and put an effort.
Well, I don't know how much. I mean, listen, he'll, of course, put in an effort. But, hey, you just got to use your quickness.
Exactly. You use quickness on a big guy, he'll drop fast.
That's true.
Chopped
out of a tree. That's right. So, thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, comment in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, DJDub00, Instagram, the_D_D_podcast.
Are you a robot?
Then TikTok, TikTok Double D Podcast 123. Also, so April 19th, Clarksville Chaos. April 25th and 26th, we'll be in Indianapolis for the Squared Circle Expo. Yep. Make sure you stop by and say hi. We'll be doing some sort of video while we're there.
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of a vlog or something.
Yeah, something or another.
So make sure you stop by and say hi. And you can also go to the Battle on the Border table. We'll have Paxton Calloway, Rob Conway, Kip Congo Kong, and Shane Douglas at our table.
Not all the same day.
No. It won't be the same day. But make sure you come by both days. Say hi to all 4 of us. There's a bug in here that's going to sting us.
That's just one.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So anything else?
No, that's all I can think of.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it. Next time we talk to you guys, we'll be talking about Clarksville Chaos. Bye-bye.